Maraming salamat po sa atin pong tagapangulo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Isang pagbati po ng puno ng pagpapala at awa ng Panginoon ang handog ko po sa inyong lahat. Una, nais ko pong ipahayag ang aking pagsaludo at pasasalamat po sa tagapangulo ng komite ng lokal na pamahalaan, ang anak po ng masa, ang atin pong idolo, ang atin pong teacher, ang number one rider po talagang tunay, Senator J.B. Ejercito. Gayon din po ang aking pasasalamat naman sa ating mga panauhin ngayong araw na ito. Lalo po sa mga kapatid natin mula sa Mindanao na naglaan po ng oras upang makapiling natin ngayong umaga. At siyempre po, ang special po nating pasasalamat din kay sa atin pong chairman ng Commission on Election, Honorable George Erwin M. Garcia, dahil siya po ang nagbigay sa atin ng idea na ito, kaya po tayo nakagawa ng panukala na ito. Batid naman po natin lahat na ang paksa ng committee ngayong araw na ito ay inihain ng inyong lingkod ang Senate Bill number 2875 tungkol sa pagbuo ng probinsya ng Cotabato na kinabibilangan po ng 63 mga barangay mula sa munisipalidad ng Pahamudin, Kabeserang Bayan, Kadayangan, Nabalawag, Old Kaabakan, Kapalawan, Malidigaw, Tugunan at Digawasan. Ginoong Tagapangulo, isa po sa universal, likas at basic na pangangailangan ng tao ay ang mapabilang sa lipunang kanyang ginagalawan. Bahagi po ito ng ating psikolohiya bilang tao. Ang universal na pangangailangang ito ay sinasabi nating naaangkop din sa mga istruktura ng gobyerno. Sa aking palagay, ang mga panauhin natin ngayong araw na ito ay mula po sa special geographic areas. Ay magpapatotoo kung gaano kahirap ang kawalan ng politikal at geographical structure na kinabibilangan. Hindi natin po maikakaila na kailangan ang pagtatatag ng lalawigan para sa mga SGAs na ito sapagkat mahalaga ito sa pamumuhay at operasyon ng mga munisipalidad at barangay sa SGA ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. Hangad ko po na sa pamamagitan ng pagdinig na ito ay matutugunan natin ang pagpapabilis sa pag-unlad ng mga bagong likhang munisipalidad at upang maging epektibo rin ang pagbibigay ng pangunahing serbisyo sa kanilang mga nasasakupan. Critical po ito sa ating pagnanais na isulong ang inclusive na pag-unlad, mapalakas ang kapayapaan at kaayusan sa lugar na napinsala ng ilang dekada ng armadong hindi pagkakaintindihan at siyempre po ang pigilan ang disenfranchisement ng mga tao sa pamamagitan ng pagtiyak na ang kanilang mga karapatan ay naibibigay ng sapat at mahusay na pamahalaan. Alam niyo po mga kababayan, nakalulungkot pong isipin na may mga kapatid po tayong hindi nakaboboto. Ito po ay malaking pagyurak sa kanilang karapatan sapagkat ito po ay nasa konstitusyon. Ito po ay binigay ng konstitusyon na karapatan ng ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na po ang ating mga kababayan na katulad ko po ay nagnanais na maramdaman na sila ay kasama dito sa gobyernong ito. Sila ay mahal ng gobyernong ito at sila ay kapabilang ng gobyernong ito. Kaya ito po, mahal naming tagapangulo, ay napakahalagang bagay sa aming lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, ang ating pong principal author nitong batas ito. Before we continue, the Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Win Gatchalian. Thank you, sir, for joining us also this morning. But before we continue, the Chair would like to thank our Chief Minister, no, Honorable Ahod Ibrahim, for being here, present this morning. It is an honor for our committee to have you for you to join us. It goes to show that we really are all serious in finding solutions to all of these issues surrounding, no, so that we may find the peaceful solution in all of this. Anyway, Senator Gatchalian, you might want to say something first. No opening statement. Okay, so since Chairman George Garcia has a flight to catch, the chair would like to take advantage of your presence. Tatlong katanungan lang, Chairman, no? Para makahab na ka. Under the bill, a plebiscite shall be conducted and supervised by COMELEC within 90 days from the date of its effectivity. Is this a sufficient time to prepare the conduct of the plebiscite in case the bill is passed by both houses, Chairman?
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, at sa mga kagalang-galang na miyembro ng committee na ito. As far as the COMELEC is concerned, Mr. Chair, before answering your question, dun po muna sa ano nangyari noong 2022, as correctly pointed out by the Honorable Senator Robin Hood Padilla, hindi po sila nakaboto yung sa 63 barangays ng mayor ng kanilang mga provincial officials, at hindi rin po sila nakaboto ng congressman dahil wala po tayong na-create nga na probinsya at wala rin po tayong na-create na legislative district para po sa kanila. And so they were disenfranchised really in 2022. At talagang nakakalungkot kung sila naman po ay disenfranchised din sa darating na halalan ng 2025, because disenfranchisement is never the business of this republic, and we should do everything legally possible to ensure that everybody is able to vote. So ganito po ang ating senaryo sa kasalukuyan. Ngayon po ay Disyembre, but we would like to express our strongest support to this the bill of Senator Padilla and the initiative of this committee. Ngayon po ay December, ang COMELEC po ay may ginagawang tinatawag na election management system. Yan pong election management system ay very important, lalo't automated elections tayo. Kung sakali pong maipasa ang ating pong panukalang batas na ito bago matapos ang Disyembre, so meron po tayong more or less, sabi po ng panukalang batas, 90 days para i-hold ang plebisito. So ang 90 days po, kung sakaling Disyembre, March po yon, to very close sa ating pong national and local elections. Kung ang plano naman po ay isama ito, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, sa ating pong national and local election, yung plebisito lang na tanong na yes or no, ang kailangan po namin talaga ay December 13, dahil ipe-prepare po namin yung election management system natin. So mukhang hindi po namin kakayanin mula po January o hanggang March to conduct the plebiscite. Although kukunti lang naman po ito dahil ang latest ano po namin, ang number of registered voters lang naman po dito ay 119,000. So mukhang kung ipipilitin natin, pwede mag-manual election basta po maipasa kaagad ang batas. So kaya naman po namin. Ngayon po, Mr. Chair, doon sa issue naman, kunwari po makreate natin ang province of Cotabato, kailan po yung halalan para dito? Definitely po, hindi na natin kaya ang 2025. Ang alternative solution natin is mag-conduct tayo ng special election, which can happen after May 2025 elections, or in the meantime, the election will be in 2028, but the president will have to appoint, as pointed out in the bill, yung pong mga in transition, yung pong governor, vice governor at members ng sangguniang panlalawigan. In the case naman po ng congressman ay magkakaroon po ng caretaker na usually ginagawa naman po ng House of Representatives. Or pwede po tayong immediately after the election sa pagitan ng May at December, dahil December po ay barangay and SK elections muli sa isang taon, pwede po sa pagitan noon mag-conduct tayo ng special election para sa gobernador, vice-gobernador at sangguniang panlalawigan. Kami po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, ay very much willing kung ano man po yung sasabihin sa atin ng ating kongreso tungkol sa bagay niyan. Basta po importante lang ay makaboto yung mga kababayan natin. As far as do sa creation naman po ng mismong probinsya, kahit po yung kinrate natin yung biliran, kahit yung kinrate po natin ang dito sa may bandang ang Dinagat Islands, may issue rin po doon sa population. Sa kasalukuyan po, noong 2020, for the information of the committee, as far as the COMELEC records are concerned, meron po kaming 211,000 na population. But that was 220. Later po, siguro matatanong natin yung PSA tungkol sa bagay na yan. Ang projection po namin at that time, 267,000 by 2025. So kung ganun po, na-comply na yung population requirement ng ating pong Section 7 ng Local Government Code. Kasi yung issue po dyan is yung income, population, at saka po yung land area. Yung land area, wala pong problema. Yung contiguous requirement, kahit hindi po talaga sila contiguous, may exemption po na nakalagay sa Local Government Code. At ang nakalagay po dyan, kapag ito ay separated by 2 or more islands or local government units na independent. So ito po, separated sila by islands and 2 or more local government units. So wala po tayong issue na doon sa contiguity. So again, when it comes to the requirements of the Local Government Code, specifically Section 7, itong 8 municipalities or the original 63 barangays ay nag-comply po based sa assessment ng COMELEC sa ating pong requirement, and therefore there is no more legal impediment for the creation of this province of Cotabato. So but as far as timelines lang po, yun lang po yung medyo we will participate fully doon sa TWG that this committee might be creating for purposes of finalizing the important dates doon sa kung kailan natin po ito gagawin. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair. So ang ano talaga natin yung our issue is because the local national election is upcoming, no? Yun ang magiging complications in case, no? But in terms of conducting the plebiscite, wala naman ng problema because it's as you said, hindi naman masyadong malaki yung population. We can even go manual. Kung sakali pong hindi aabot sa deadline yun na December 13 for the printing of the ballots, we can just in case pwede ho tayo mag-manual.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, kung yung kasi nga po dahil 119,000 yung voting population, bigyan nyo lang po kami ng sufficient na short time para po mapag-usapan namin kung pwede natin makondak ang plebisito sa yes or no sa pagkikreate kung sakali maipapasa ang panukalang batas before the end of this year doon sa pagitan ng January to May of 2025. Although talaga pong napaka-tight yung schedule namin at timelines, pero kung manual po, tingnan po natin kasi may maliit na balota lang po yan, Mr. Chair. Yung kakaya yes or no lang po yun eh. So para lang po maipilit na natin na makapag-plebisito man lang doon sa yes or no.
Thank you, Chairman. Likewise, we want you to catch your flight. Last na lang po, take advantage. Dito rin naman po si Chief Minister Ibrahim. We might, although this is not, yung postponement of the BARM elections might be scheduled next week, but like to take advantage of the presence of the Chief Minister and the other officials of BARM. Yung po kasing naging meron kasing issue na yung what is the position of the COMELEC regarding the issue on the resignation of all public appointed officials upon filing of their COC. Siguro maganda hong maliwanagan ngayon coming from you, Chairman George. Will this also apply to the BTA members?
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Nung dinadraft po natin ng Bangsamoro yung pong election code, kami po ay kasama doon. Pagmamalaki namin na kabilang kami, nakukonsult po kami ng Bangsamoro Transition Authority sapagkat gusto namin maging maayos po yung election code. At yung pong COMELEC ay nag-agree doon sa provision ng Bangsamoro Electoral Code, yung paglalagay that all incumbent BTA members are not deemed resigned if they will be filing the certificates of candidacy. So as far as the COMELEC is concerned, ang position po namin, we supported and agreed with the provision. May naging problema lang po kami lately. Sana from doon sa mga abogadong na andito mapag-isipan natin. Meron po kasi kaming ginawa doon sa party list. Sa party list po kasi ay lahat ng nominees ng party list nilagay namin sa guidelines namin na kung sila ay mga incumbent appointed officials, sila po ay not deemed resigned. Not deemed resigned po sila. Sinabi namin kasi ang sinabi po namin, ang tumatakbo sa party list ay ang mga organizations, ang mga political parties at hindi ang nominees. At sinite namin yung dalawang kaso dyan, kaso ng Abayon versus HRET, kasama na rin po yung kaso ng Palparan versus HRET. Na-TRO po kami ng Supreme Court. Kaya lahat po ng mga appointive officials sa ating pamahalaan na naging nominee or nominees ng party list ay deemed resigned. Of course, ang saving grace po sa Bangsamoro Electoral Code, Mr. Chair, ay dahil may provision sa Electoral Code not deemed resigned sila. So doon po natin i-weigh na lang, hindi ko po sasagutin dahil legal issue, kung may provision at pagkatapos may TRO. So magkatulad pa yung implikasyon at yung epekto po nito. So hanggang sa kasalukuyan po, ang kaso namin tungkol sa party list ay pending sa Supreme Court, Mr. Chair, and wala pa pong disposition. Ang dahilan lang kung bakit sila lahat resigned ay dahil sa temporary restraining order issued by the Honorable Supreme Court in that particular case.
So that has to be clarified, no? Yun pang kailangan natin yung legal issue. Whether yung provision po na not deemed resigned sa kanila will not be in conflict with our constitution.
Yes, Mr. Chair, basta po ngayon in the meantime, they are still sitting because of the provision of the election code. And that should really be it, because until a provision of a law or an ordinance is declared null and void, then the status quo is maintained, Mr. Chair.
Ito yung mga kailangan natin i-resolve, no? Ng mga issues. That's why we really need time for that. No? Probably we will. Chairman, siguro Senator Robin or Senator Gatchalian, probably have questions with Chairman George so that we can let him go already. Meron siyang flight.
Clarification, Chairman George, I'll take advantage of your presence. So you mentioned earlier, the mga incumbent BTA right now who are appointed, if they filed their candidacy, they're not.
Yung po yung nakalagay sa transitory provision ng electoral code na naipsa po ng Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Yung pong that those who are appointed to the BTA are by the President are not deemed resigned upon the filing of their certificates of candidacy for 2025
So
elections.
what's the general rule for all?
Ang lumalabas po na rule talaga, Mr. Chair, all appointive officials, once they file their certificates of candidacies, are deemed automatically resigned, except
Correct,
elective officials.
correct. So that's why the mga kagaya mga secretaries,
Deemed resigned po.
diba,
Yes,
deemed
sir.
resign sila. But this is itong BTA, appointed sila ngayon na extend lang eh, diba?
That's right, Mr. Chair.
So they're, because of that law, they are exempted.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and therefore tama po ang ating kagalang-galang tagapangulo. The issue now is really whether, because there is a clash between the general principle and this provision of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code,
Is there
Mr.
a
Chair.
case challenging that?
In the meantime, wala po tayong
So walang case.
Wala
So
pa po
that's
tayong.
why they can still occupy their position in the BTA and also become a candidate at the same time.
Yes, Mr. Chair. As far as the COMELEC is concerned, nakalagay po sa guidelines namin on the filing of certificates of candidacy, those appointed officials who will be filing their certificates of candidacy are deemed resigned. Yun po yung nakalagay sa
That's the
amin.
general rule. No?
That's the general rule. And as to whether it will accept of any exception, that is a legal issue, Mr. Chair.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gatchalian. Chairman George, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Malaking bagay po na na-clarify niyo itong mga issues. Maraming salamat, our COMELEC Chair.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, at sa mga kagalang-galang na mga panauhin. Salamat po.
So to continue, the Chair would like to hear from the following in this order. Of course, the Bangsamoro government for their position on the creation of the province, the new province, the mayors of the 8 municipalities who are here, the national government agencies, province of Cotabato and the leagues. So yun po in that order, no?